you know that you are a pure and complete disgrace of an artifact when even on the League of Anarchy team, like the most straightforward team where you would think that this artifact will go berserk and do a huge amount of damage, this artifact still sucks. This artifact still doesn't perform well at all when it comes to League of Anarchy. And yeah, I know some of you have said, oh, with Last Lap Joker, whatever, I don't give two fucks anymore. This artifact is trash. Don't use it on League of Anarchy. Don't use it on Batuma the Drowned. Don't use this on any fucking team in this stupid game. guys, guys, honestly, this artifact is very disappointing. You would think 1000% would mean something. When you even put it in perspective that the Crown of Kandak ruler is extremely OP on EPI, and that just gives you 300% damage. So, how exactly is this 1000% damage now calculated? Because even if you are following the additive principle, Crown of Kandak ruler follows the additive principle and gives you 300%. This one gives you 1000%. And let's also put this in some context as well. The I believe a legendary Mr. Freeze, I believe when he's maxed at 7 stars, he's going to give you 1000+%, which is also additive damage, right? Granted, that damage you are mostly going to be using it on specials, but if you have beta club, it's to apply to your beta club as well. So that means it applies on basic. So this 1000%, something tells me, yes, it is additive, but something tells me that there's still something wrong with the damage that's coming from this 1000%. It's just not adding up. Yes, it's additive, but it is definitely not adding up. Extremely disappointing, guys. I normally my API team I would use Gale of Steel and I would use Zatanna. But in this case, I did not use Gale of Steel because Gale of Steel is going to give me 400% damage, and I did not want to add 400% to 300% I'm going to get from Zatanna and 1000% I'm going to get from the artifact. So my aim basically was to see how the damage scales. I know somebody on my Discord, shout out to Graphite, told me that it scales about 23 times on Last Lap the Joker, and that's, I believe that's even without Last Lap the Joker getting the additional damage from losing the character. So let's say that 23 times works. This 23 times doesn't seem to be enough, basically. So I don't know. I would still rather use DMC or Crown of Canada Cruller on my API, regardless of the setup I'm using. Because, like I said, Crown of Canada Cruller is going to give me 300% damage. And if I add Gale of Steel, I'll get 400%, which is still not up to 1000%. So, how does this now work? If you use Gale of Steel, you use Zatanna, those two together are going to give you 700% damage, right? Then if you use Crown of Kandak Ruler on your EPI, that gives you another 300%, which takes it to 1000% damage. But if this artifact, so basically this artifact that is giving you 1000% on EPI should do as much damage as if you don't have Zatanna, if you don't have Gale of Steel, and you don't have Crown of Kandak Ruler, because this damage is a combination of those three. So you would even think that this artifact, the way it should work, if it's working the way it should work, if I put this artifact on API, I should not need to stack damage from Zatanna or Gale of Steel. And I should still be able to do as much damage as I would do with that artifact. But unfortunately, it doesn't even come close to that amount of damage. So, yeah, extremely disappointing. Maybe something is wrong, but even if something is not wrong, this artifact, well, I would say this weekend we will know because we're going to be testing it out in invasions and we'll get to see if maybe it has some sort of use in invasions. But I wouldn't hold my breath for this artifact. Twin Blade is still the better artifact for invasions. If you've run out of Twin Blade, then maybe try this artifact and see how it does for you. I will definitely be testing it for invasions this weekend and sharing that video with you guys. Let's see how it does. At least I'm really, really hoping that the Kamidogou dagger is actually going to be useful in at least one mode in this game. Because right now it is useless in every mode. Every single mode in this game, it is useless. So let's see how it performs in League Evasions over the weekend. Anyways, away from Kamidogu trash, let's talk about raiding. So somebody also commented on my video yesterday, and the person said that they were doing dot damage on the opponent even after Scorpion died. So I believe what is happening is the when you do special with Scorpion against the opponent, as long as that wound, I know it's not called wound, but there's a negative effect you apply to the opponent that applies some sort of wound to the opponent. So as long as that wound is applied, you're going to be doing dot damage on that boss until that wound is over. So for this person, in my case, I didn't kill off Scorpion, obviously, because I was going to waste another pip after what Kamidogu did. But has anyone else experienced this? That when Scorpion dies on the Mortal Kombat team, you are able to do dot damage. And for further clarification, which dot are you doing? Because you know that with Mortal Kombat team, there are multiple dots. There's hazard dot, and there is dot on basics with raiding, and there's also dot like passive dot that's applied to the opponent when that wound is on the opponent. So which of these dots, for the person that commented on my video yesterday, hopefully you are watching today, which of the dots was happening on with Radiant? Because you are saying that even with the death of Scorpion, you were still applying dots to the opponent. So if anybody else has experienced this as well, just let me know in the comment section which dot remains active after Scorpion dies. I've wasted so much pips, guys. So I don't know if I have the heart to waste any more pips to test this out. So just help me out and let me know in the comment section which dot applies when Scorpion dies. For those that have experienced it, please don't waste your pip to test it. But if you feel like wasting, well, waste away. After all, we are using Kamidogu artifacts, which is enough waste in the game. Anyways, this thing, Mr. Freeze, actually is great for one shot. I didn't even think of this before. For normal mode, heroic 1 and heroic 2, Mr. Freeze is going to be very, very useful. He's going to be able to one shot a lot of the teams, especially when you use this setup. Yeah, so like if you don't have beta club, don't worry about that. Just slap your Kamidogu on one of the supports to get additional attack and health, and use your Zatanna's puppets. Use Zatanna's puppets to do damage, and yeah, you are going to be able to take on. Like I was saying, the health was going down so fast that I was like, wow, that's really nice. Mind you, this is a 200 million health boss. Yeah, so we are no longer in the beginners level of normal mode. We are doing serious damage now. So yeah, 200 million damage, and this guy just took it down like it was nothing. So yeah, Mr. Freeze is a very good choice to use for one shotting at this point. Uh, yeah, if you don't have Mr. Freeze, you could use what is the name of this character? Silver Banshee. Yeah, Silver Banshee is another good choice you could use for those that don't have Mr. Freeze. Silver Banshee is doing huge damage at this point. I believe I hit 15 million damage with my Silver Banshee on Special 3, and I just have a level 1 Kamidogu Dagger support, which is just 3k support attack. So that was quite surprising to me to hit 15 million. I don't know, maybe it was just the boss I was fighting against. I don't know, but I will have to. I'm definitely going to try Silver Banshee again with this setup. So Silver Banshee with this setup, or you could use Mr. Freeze with this setup, and either way, you are going to be able to one shot. At least you get to Heroic 2. Yeah, so that's for that. For the final match, we're going to be talking about this guy, Scorpion. So Scorpion has to be hands down the easiest boss in any solo raid. The reason for this is that you can use a lot of characters to one-shot this guy. You are not afraid of maybe crit resistance or stun immune or stun on tagging, all those useless gimmicks. You just have fighting a normal boss. The only thing you should keep at the back of your mind, like I've said before, is that this boss is going to 100% one-shot any character that takes a super move. So you don't want your main character to take a super move. But another thing I've heard is that for those that will be using Batuma the Drowned, which is also a very good character, and Metal Team, of course, if you're going to be using the Metal Team in this match, that's a very good team to use in this match. Just make sure Batuma the Drowned doesn't take the super move. Even if your Robin King takes the super move, you'll be able to resurrect Robin King. I've heard that resurrection works. So this boss just doesn't, it's not like it's boss that will one-shot your character and that character is done. The character can never come back. That's not going to be the case against this boss. So your regen matrix, your normal resurrection with King of Atlantis Aquaman, all of that is going to work here. So that's why this boss is super, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Uh, yeah. Anyways, it was very easy. I've missed using Beast Boy. This is the first time, rather second time I'm using Beast Boy in such a long time, especially in this solo raid, because I've been using some other characters to do a bunch of useless tests. If you enjoy my videos, you want to see more videos like this, smash the red subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I got a nice reward, anyways. At least nice for what NRS can give me.